I am Kodani Sino Parama, the reigning champion of Musangwe. Musangwe is a venda traditional bare knuckle fight. So today I want to show some of techniques that were called knockout techniques that were used in the middle of the fight. All those techniques were used in the middle of the fight because it's a knockout techniques. They were used to knock an opponent in the middle of the fight. Like every fight, when fighting, you can't just go for a knockout immediately. You just confuse the opponent by using or throwing some of punches, and then when your opponent get confused, it's your chance to get closer to your opponent. And if you get closer to your opponent, you can use all those techniques. All those techniques I'm going to show you right now. First, I'm going to show you how they were using head in the middle of the fight. Like every fight, you know that you will be throwing punches to confuse your opponent, and when you get closer to your opponent, you now get chance to use your head just to knock your opponent if you are smarter than your opponent. All right, next I'm going to show you how they were using elbow. Like every fight, even in the elbow, you can't just go to your opponent with an elbow if you are smart or clever. So you first confuse your opponent by throwing more of punches just to confuse your opponent. If you get chance to get closer to your opponent, it's your time to think carefully and use your elbow. If you are smarter than your opponent, you are going to knock your opponent. All right, next, the last one, I'm going to show you how to use a knee. Same story, you are going to throw more of punches. When you get closer to your opponent, it's now your time to think carefully and use knee like this. Okay, and if you are smarter than your opponent, then your opponent will be knocked.